Salama family.
Salama.
I'm Brother Atur.
And I'm Isha G.
And how have you guys been? Well, I hope. How you doing today, love?
I'm hot.
You're hot? Hey, welcome to Africa.
No. It's not hot like this throughout all Africa. The wind is blowing, thankfully, but we are in the hottest time of year here where we are, and it is brutal.
Look, this is handkerchief season, okay? Look, you keep this thing with you at all times.
Yeah, we're right in front of the window right now, so that's why y'all probably see my hair blowing from time to time. Because
what my hair? They're not gonna see my hair blow? No? Oh.
It is scorching here. It's really, really hot. So today we have a nice breeze. Wind is blowing, and y'all, I prayed for that because it's been hot.
Yes, but we got something serious to talk to y'all about today.
Yeah.
It's something that's been brought to our attention, so we thought it'd be something we should talk about, being that we're here on the continent.
Yes.
It was shared with us about situation going on over in the Gambia right now. 4 sisters have come up dead. African American sisters have come up dead in the Gambia. And these, from my understanding, these are all single women. And so the video we watched, the guy over there was saying, something seems like a pattern. And, 1 person, 2 person, yeah, I agree. But, we're talking 4 people now. That does sound like something's going on. So, having been here almost 3 years now, some things we've learned and some precautions that we believe our single sisters should do is what we're going to talk about. So,
yeah, and I mean, it's not just the Gambia that we've heard these things about. I haven't heard of any, murders or anything like that. Besides this one, I'm not saying maybe I, overlooked some, but I know that there were some instances that came out
about attacks
a while ago, about attacks, rapes for some sisters that were in Ghana as well. So African American sisters, and all of these instances, it seems to be single Black women that has been happening to. I'm not there, in either of the countries or any of the other countries, if there are, things like that going on, but it seems to be that from these accounts that single Black women are being targeted in certain areas.
So here in Tanzania, where we are, I personally have only heard of, and these were like within the last year, maybe 2 sisters that had went through some instances with locals. I don't know if I can call them attacks because I don't know all the details. I don't know what was said by either party in that or what the circumstances were. So I don't really want to speak on those. I just want to state that here in Tanzania, we've only heard of 2 attacks of Black women here. They were both single women. But one of the things that we noticed in our time here.
Before you continue, hold on. Well, how severe were those attacks here? What?
From what I don't know all the details. I just heard, hey, this sister got attacked, but they didn't go into the details. Yeah. So some things we've learned is that anybody, especially our women that are traveling to the continent, even if you're not coming to the continent, you're going to South America, you're going to Europe, you're going anywhere, you need to make sure you have someone on the ground in that country that you trust, that that has been recommended by somebody else that is either staying in that country or that has visited that country and they made a connection there. Somewhere you will be safe. Look, some of y'all can say I'm chauvinistic, and I'm fine. I'll accept that. In this instance here, I do not believe that our women should be coming over here by themselves without a brother with them And what I'm saying is, find a sister that has a husband that you and the sister and her husband can go around, go places together, travel together with, so you have some type of covering over you. You know, look, I know in America, our men can be hard-headed, and they hard-headed everywhere. We some hard-headed Negroes, all right? But we're changing. We're going back to the way y'all made us, you know, and we're becoming those protectors like we're supposed to be. You know, reach out to some brothers on the continent, you know.
And when he says for him to be your covering, he not telling y'all, for those of you who may take it the wrong way, he not saying to, you know, become a second wife.
No, that's
He's
not what I'm
just saying it would be beneficial if you could find someone who has a husband. So when they are going out, maybe grocery shopping, whatever, it's somebody you could tag along with until you find your way around, you learn the ropes, you meet other people, things like that. It might be a good idea for you to do that. Now I get it. Not everybody knows somebody like that. So if you cannot do that, then it is good for you to find other sisters, and I would say at least 2 other sisters where y'all can travel together. And what I mean by traveling, I'm talking about within the country that you're in. You know, if you're gonna, wherever you're gonna be going out, if you're going out at night, you know, it would be a good idea to travel with some sisters. Another bit of advice I would have is when you're researching any country, research countries and think about countries that are not really violent countries, countries maybe that are known for being more peaceful, countries that prosecute their people for crimes. That would be a good idea when you're researching countries that you may want to visit or relocate to, because it's not just about when you relocate, because it happens in certain countries when people are on vacation as well. So it's not just about, oh, I'm not going to move there because this happens if you move there. It happens if you visit other places too. And I just want y'all to think about something also. This is not just like an isolated event to the continent.
No.
It's not, because we've been hearing for years about people who go to South America, the islands, America, who come up missing. But I'm talking about, you know, specifically our people who go and visit, you know, South America, the islands, and they come up missing and dead as well. So it's not just an isolated event to the continent to where you can say, see, this is what happens when you go to Africa, because it happens in other countries that people go to as well. It's just a simple fact that there has been an uptick in the amount of people who have been coming to visit and relocate to the continent. So now you're starting to hear more of these events. But anywhere you go as a foreigner, when you're going into a country where the countries are very poor, you know,
be on your P's and Q's.
Be on your P's and Q's, because there's a certain target that you have on you just for that simple fact. And I don't mean a target as far as to kill a person or something like that. I'm saying a target as far as anything, because we've talked about many times about how people will try and get over on you financially, cheat you out of things. You know, they'll try and rent you a house that's really not theirs, and they take all your money and things like that. So it's by you being a foreigner, you are a target already. So you have to do your due diligence. You have to be on your P's and Q's when you go to any country, not just Africa. Because like I said, and I want to stress this, I do not want people to just isolate these incidents to the continent of Africa, because it goes on in all countries, number one. But when you hear about poor countries, you hear about these things a lot.
Right. Also, something I want to add is that, you know, a lot of times, most of us who've been in this walk for years now, or just coming into this walk, we build up this hatred, and we think that it's the Europeans, the Asians, the Arabs, the Indians that are our enemy. We seem to forget, here on the continent, Ham is here as well. You know what I'm saying? So Ham is in a land that they've occupied for a long time. It does not belong to them. You know what I'm saying? And they know who we are. And now we're coming back here until they feel threatened. So, you know, and look, let me speak for myself. I'm guilty of this. When I came here to the continent, I thought it was going to be kumbaya. That we were going to come here and that everybody here was just, you know, that looked like me was going to be happy that we were here. Now, disclaimer, before somebody tries to take what I'm saying out of context, there are a lot of African people throughout the African continent that are happy to see us here, that want to work with us, that have done us right and are still doing us right. However, there is a percentage that are not happy about us being here, that have been roadblocks, have been stumbling blocks to us being here, that are jealous of what we are trying to do here when all we're trying to do is help the people here.
They don't want us here, and they try and make it hard for us to actually remain here. And I can't say that all of them are Ham. Some of them, look, we have Hamites here. We have a lot of people from other countries that got here before we got here.
Yep.
You know, born and raised here on the continent, different countries. But then at the same time, we do have some of our people here also who they don't want us here. And we talked about this briefly in our previous video. You know, not everybody is going to welcome us back. Not everybody wants us to come back.
Right.
You know, so you have to be expecting that there are going to be some people you come in contact with that are not going to treat you well, you know. And so I said this, it's cool, the fact that, like he said, we came here and we were like, yes, you know, we
everybody
back.
Look like me.
We back, we in the land, right? Everybody look like me and everything. The things that we deal with, we don't have to deal with those things anymore over there. And yes, to a certain extent, but you still have your things that you're gonna have to deal with over here. Because putting aside people who are not of our nation, we have 12 different tribes in our nation. Mm-hmm. And every tribe is different, okay? So now you gotta think about how different every tribe is, because being here on the continent, we see how the people, even in Tanzania, if you live in this area, they're very different from the people who live in this area. Dar es Salaam is very different from where we live right now. The people are very different in Dar es Salaam from compared to where we live right now. So when you come down to the tribes of our nation, our tribes are very different. I get it when it comes down to who our God is, and then a lot of our people here, the awakening just started.
Right.
So, you know, one day everybody will know, but even in knowing, our tribes are different. And so when you are trying to live cohesively together, it's going to be some friction happening, you know. And so those are the things that we have to think about. Outside of the other nations that are not us, within our nation, there's still going to be
turmoil.
Friction, you know. So, and unfortunately, because everybody does not serve the Most High, some people just are evil, you know. Some people, the Bible says, just born that way.
Yeah.
So,
well, Brother Yacoba and Minister Tay, you say all the time, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
So that's something that you have to really think about when you're coming to the continent, and you have to do your best to be on your P's and Q's and make sure that you're doing what it takes to be safe when you come here. Now, I want to talk about a specific instance that, you know, we were privy to see the video of a sister in the Gambia who said that she went to a restaurant and the people poisoned her food. And I don't know, I'm not going to get into how she said she found out, but she found out people poisoned her food. But she said the owner was
African American.
and she went back to America. So it's like, we don't know a lot of times who the people are. So that's why we're saying travel in groups, go to places that are recommended by other people. And my number one tip is to stay prayed up when you come to the continent, because I get it. There's witchcraft everywhere. Okay? It's everywhere. And it's no different when you come over here. A lot of people will be like, well, it's not as bad as what I hear on the continent. Oh, you just don't really have it shown to you in that way in the U.S., but it's everywhere in the U.S. They teach our children how to do it. Right. So, when they're little.
Turn on the cartoons.
Right. Turn on any of those cartoons. Take them to the movies. They teach them right there how to do it. It's just in a different manner that is fed to you. And so here it's a little bit different. And it's just how they portray it. They say, oh, if you go to the continent, witchcraft is like this. They are taking bones, all kind of stuff. But however it is, they're doing the same thing everywhere. It's just presented differently.
Right.
And so anywhere you go, you have to make sure that you are prayed up, because I don't want y'all to think that I'm giving a pass to what has happened to the sisters, because that's why we're saying giving tips to stay safe, because I don't think anybody should have to be fearful of coming to the continent. I think you just have to be wise
and called by the Most High to come here.
Right. When it's your time, or if you want to leave and you pray and the Most High gives you that permission to come here or whatever, the times we living in, yeah, you can move anywhere, but I think it's definitely better to pray and say, Most High, give me your blessing. If you want me to go here, I would like to go here, and have him be the one to say yes, go, or whatever.
And put the people around you to keep you safe while you're there. And I'm gonna take it up a notch. Even to the single men coming over here, be praying to the Most High, put you around some brothers that will stand with you, that will have your back. You know what I'm saying? So, look, as brothers, we need other brothers to have our back as well.
Yes. And because men are preyed upon too here. A lot of them don't know that they're being preyed upon, but they are. So for all of us, you just have to definitely be led by the Most High and use wisdom before you come here to the continent. I don't know what was surrounding those situations with those sisters and the other attacks that have happened. But if you're a sister and you're not a follower of the Most High, you're not a believer, you don't believe in the Bible and everything, to each their own. But still use wisdom when you come here. I know a lot of people like that club scene and everything from the U.S. But when you come to the continent, you going out to the club at night, you are definitely painting a target on yourself. You're definitely prey if you're living a type of life like that when you're coming to the continent. So that's something I'm going to say, not just because I don't believe that we should be in those types of environments. Just here, it is not a good thing for you to put yourself in an environment like that. It really is not, where it's dark, ain't nobody paying attention to you because your flesh just going crazy and everything like that. Anything can happen in those situations. Just throwing back drinks and all kind of things like that.
Smoking.
It's not a good idea to put yourself in those environments if you are a single woman, because even if you go in a group to a club, by the time y'all in there, y'all done met whoever, John Doe and whoever, your sister ain't got your back, your brother ain't got your back no more, because they paying attention to whomever they with. Right. So those are not good environments to put yourself in.
And don't think just because you on the continent, they ain't got date rape drugs over here. We hear about that in the U.S., people dropping Mickeys and people drinks. They got that stuff here too.
Yeah.
So you be careful when you go to these places. I mean, personally, I don't think you should be in those places, but that's my household. What you do in your household is up to you. We're just trying to advise you as to safe ways to move here on the continent. And I just want to throw this in there also. We're not telling nobody don't come to the continent.
Right.
We're just telling you, be careful. Same way, if you move to another neighborhood, You don't just be walking around the other neighborhood all willy-nilly if you don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So please make sure when you decide, the Most High tells you, I'm sending you to the continent, I'm sending you wherever, that you do your research, you prepare yourself, you go before the Most High. Most High, surround me with the tools that I'm going to need to survive there,
Right.
to make it there. You know, and sisters, listen, this is the continent. I understand you're grown, you know what I'm saying, but you're coming to a continent where dressing any kind of way, look, get that westernized mentality out your head. You can't come over here with that, I'm grown, I do what I want to do. They take that serious over here. If you showing too much flesh, they're going to say something to you.
And
Just keeping it real.
Yeah, and that's not to say that, oh, that means I got to dress in a muumuu all day.
No.
I call muumuus those big dresses that they wear. They just to me, remind me of a big old bag. But that's not to say that you have to dress like that, but just be, mindful of the way that you're dressing.
Especially if you're calling yourself an Israelite. You know you shouldn't be having all that flesh on in the first place. Just keeping it real. That's Bible.
So, I don't think much else to say, but definitely just recapping, when you come, do your research, do your best to go to a country where you don't hear about a lot of stuff like that going on. You hear that it's a pretty peaceful country, that when it comes down to prosecution and stuff like that, that is something that they practice. They don't just say. And do your best to find other groups that are on the ground already. It doesn't mean that you have to be buddy, but just, for instance, in Dar es Salaam, there are a lot of groups of African Americans that have, formed groups on WhatsApp and different things like that, in Dar es Salaam and other countries as well. And so they start chatting, asking questions, different things like that. Find out the areas where the diaspora are.
And recommend.
Right. Find out restaurants that they would recommend. And definitely, if you are single, it is definitely best to get with somebody else to travel to the country with. Don't just come alone.
Right.
If you are coming alone, make sure that you have connected with a couple of families on the continent, that when you get to the continent, you're going to be with them. I'm not saying you have to live in their house.
No.
But there are going to be people that surround you and where you're kind of protected in them. When you come to the continent, make sure that your house, if you're by yourself, get you a house that has an electrical fence around the wall. Get you a couple of dogs. Not small dogs. I'm talking about dogs that are good for guarding, Get you the meanest looking dog you can find.
Chihuahua?
Nah. So, do things like that when you're coming to the continent to keep yourself protected. Some countries don't allow you to carry firearms. But you can carry certain types of other things. So find out what you can have.
Or you can get you a walking stick. Like here in Tanzania, you see a lot of the Maasai with these walking sticks. But these walking sticks can kill a person. Just keeping it real. I'm not, real fast, and I don't want YouTube to get me. I'm not telling anybody to do that. I'm just saying, to protect yourself, these will take out an animal.
Yeah. So, get you things that you can keep around your house. So do these things to guard yourself. It's not because you're living in fear. We live in a sinful world.
Right.
So wherever you are, even in the U.S., why do we have alarms on our houses? Because of how the world is. Right. So it's no different when you come to the continent, so remember, we are a tribe.
Yeah, hold on. So let me say this again, because there's going to be somebody in the comments, I know, that's going to say, oh, they don't trust the Most High. No, we trust the Most High. However, we stay ready just in case if the Most High say, y'all go ahead and handle it. We believe he will handle it, but guess what? Sometimes the Most High will tell us, knock the Negro out. So just stay ready.
Yeah, so stay ready, stay definitely prayed up, stay out of the wrong types of places, ladies. I know that there are a lot of our sisters who want to be married. Yes, continue praying for a husband, but just be mindful if you come into the continent and this guy that's asking you for your number and things like that, because like I said, you are a target. So you make sure that it's the Most High that's showing you, giving you permission or showing you that this man is for you or whatever. Don't just because he wooing you, whatever,
right,
that you feeling like, oh, this got to be the Most High.
Yeah. Find you some brothers here on the continent that are in the truth that can kind of check a brother out for you too. For my sisters that's coming over here, and one of the local guys is trying to woo you. Find you some brothers that's in the truth, some husbands that are husbands already, that can kind of look out for you and, sit that brother down and talk to him too. You know what I'm saying? To make sure he understands where we as a people are coming from as well.
Yes. So I was saying we're a tribe, and honestly, I know that we can't be around everybody. We're not meant to be around everybody, even within our own tribe.
Right.
However, we do have to look out for one another when we're coming to these different countries. We have to be able to look out for each other. And that's one of the reasons why, we allow people to freely ask us questions and things like that, because we don't want you to have to go through either things that we went through or things that somebody we know has had to go through. Right. So if we can prevent our people from going through those things, that's the purpose of people reaching out to us and asking us information about where we are or other places. If we know people in those countries, other African Americans, we connect them, right. So that you're not going over there not knowing anybody. And for all of our people who also want that African quote unquote experience, and you trying to live in the boonies, unless the Most High tell you to, I don't recommend it. So I'm just being honest. Go somewhere where there's going to be some decent hospitals,
access to fresh water.
Right. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Unless now, if it's a good group size of y'all, that's one thing.
And y'all going for mission work and
or if you're building your own little community, that's because enough of y'all to help protect each other.
But you just want to be mindful of the things that you're doing.
Right.
Like there is no kumbaya over here. We ain't got to that point yet.
Right.
So you have to go looking out for each other, protect yourself.
Right. And remember, the land, when we came out the wilderness the first time, we had to fight, y'all. So if nothing's new under the sun, and the Most High is a never-changing Elohim, guess what? As we're coming back over here,
it's a fight.
It's a fight. So just, again, recap. Be safe, be smart, trust the Most High, that He will provide everything that you need when you get here. The people, the information, and I just want to say, if you're coming to Tanzania, or if you're going to countries like South Africa, Uganda, Ghana, Sierra Leone, we personally know people that are in those places where we can pass on information to them for you to let you know what's going on in those countries, so you're better prepared. Also, if you're going to go, we can reach out to those people and say, hey, we know a family that's coming out, or a single woman who's coming out, and possibly put you in touch with them, so you can have a safe landing.
Yeah.
So family, please take to what we're saying in consideration. And at the same time, if any of the family members of those 4 women who lost their lives in the Gambia come across this video, we just want to say we're sorry for your loss, because anybody losing a family member is tough, and we just pray the Most High's will over your houses, for His peace to consume you, and just remember those people the way they were, not as how they are now. Remember them the way they were. So Salama family, we love y'all,
Salama.
and we'll see y'all next time. Shalom.
Shalom.